Hi Capricorn, I hope you guys are doing great. Welcome to your general messages for the 8th to the 14th of December. So I'm going to be doing your general messages for love and then career. I'm going to timestamp below. We're going to do extended of each. So this way, if you don't feel like hanging out for both, that's totally fine. I'm going to start off with a little bit of astrology. So I'm going to timestamp for relationship and then career. So I hope you guys are doing fantastic in this wacky energy. So the only thing that I really want to mention about this week, we have a lot going on, but I really want to just focus on the Sagittarius new moon on Monday the 14th. It is a total solar eclipse. And for those of you that don't know, a solar eclipse is just like a regular new moon where the moon passes the earth and the sun. But a solar eclipse is more powerful because the moon ends up darkening the sun. And this one is happening at 23 degrees and 8 minutes of Sagittarius. It's going to be affecting those most with their personal planets and points in the mutable signs of Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, anywhere from 18 to 28 degrees. Now, I'm saying this for those of you who happen to know your chart. If you don't know your chart and this is confusing, don't worry about it. Check your chart, though, if you have it. Wherever you have Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, check the degrees, check the house that it's in, and that's the part of your chart that this particular solar eclipse is going to be impacting you the strongest, okay? Now, for those of you who just maybe know that you happen to be a Capricorn rising sign, this is going to be really impacting your 12th house. And the 12th house is the house of the subconscious, of the mystic, of the space where the veil is very thin between the worlds. It's where our dreams are created. It's definitely a dream space. It's also where our self-sabotaging behaviors happen to hang out. It is where our addictions hang out. So just something to keep in mind. But the 12th house is like the things that we create that we're not ready to really expose to the world yet. So it's these ideas that we're sort of cooking, marinating, incubating, however you want to think about it. Now, because this is aligned with Mercury and the South Node, the spiritual meaning of this relates to how we think and communicate. Okay, so this is fantastic for those Capricorns, well, everybody out there actually, who are students, who are in the process maybe of getting ready for final exams, doing final papers, finishing up final projects, working on anything that requires a lot of thinking and communicating at the same time. Now, it's trining Mars, so I really love this because it's going to be giving us an energy and an initiative to set new goals and act on our plans with more confidence than we've been able to this whole past year. However, there is going to be a harsh aspect to Neptune, which means that we all need to protect ourselves against deception and also any kind of infection, especially from like the coronavirus, the flu, anything that's a little more profound. Now, Mercury is squaring Neptune here, so this is going to really increase confusion, deception. I feel like very much so for you guys, even though you guys are not a mutable sign, because it's happening in your 12th house and because Neptune is the ruler of the 12th house. So, just keeping in mind, like Neptune rules infection, disease, anything like under the surface. So nothing to worry yourself about necessarily, but I do just want you to take extra care of yourself, particularly during the holiday season and all of everything, else that's going on. So that's it for that. Let's get into your love read. So I'm going to first pull a Celtic cross spread on you. And then this will be an energy that's in your energy field. Maybe you're with them, maybe you're not. Very subjective read over here. I'll explain what that means in a second. Let me just focus on pulling your cards. We have the High Priestess reverse. We have the Devil energy reverse. Okay. He keeps showing up in your reading, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, Capricorn? Right. Seems like. Okay. The Devil energy is Capricorn. Not that you guys are devils, but it's astrologically what it's equivalent to. All right, so now we're going to pull a subjective read for an energy that you're dealing with. Now, guys, again, you may not, I've explained this before, but for those of you who've never heard, when we do subjective reads, we focus on the partner, on the energy that Capricorn is dealing with. So you may not agree with it because it's coming from their perspective. Their perspective, Capricorn, their perspective, Capricorn. Their perspective, Capricorn. So again, you may not agree with it. You may be like, what? They don't think that. That's not what happened. But it's the way the subjective reads show up, okay? So let's see what we have. Starting out with you, the sun, okay? Having to do with relationship. This is coming into this energy. We have the sun, which means, yeah, it means material happiness. It means joyous outcome, all of that. That was your headspace, right? Coming into this. It also means, though, even if something wasn't happening out in the 3D, you were at least of the mindset that you had everything that you needed to make something work. You knew exactly what was necessary, right? I mean, your toolbox was full, so to speak. You know, the sun rules Leo. It's about creativity, romance, falling in love, all of that. The current situation, though, we have the High Priestess reverse. That's crossed by the Devil reverse. Okay, so let's talk about the High Priestess reverse. The High Priestess reverse does indicate this idea of clouded insight, blocked intuition, maybe not seeing everything for completely what it is. But that is being blocked and crossed by the Devil reverse, which is a lot better than in the upright. As in the reverse, it's about recovery and leaving an abusive situation and just feeling better. So I'm getting that this is for Capricorns who are maybe in something that they extricated themselves from. You guys pulled yourself out of something. You may not be fully ready to move forward into something else because you feel the sense of block. But it does seem like you've released yourself from some sort of situation that at least had you, from an emotional point, in reality sort of held captive, where you weren't actually able to move forward. Now, from energetic perspective, it does seem like you're having a hard time accessing your intuition right now. We all have intuition. It's, you know, it's very much a moon energy. It's very subjective. It's internal. I always say whenever the High Priestess energy shows up, it's because it's a moon energy. We want to make sure that everything that we're feeling is based in reality and not fear and not projection. We all do it sometimes. This is not, I'm not throwing shade at anyone, but that is what the High Priestess does indicate. It's like that, your ability to access really good, solid intuition right now, having to do at least with relationship, is blocked right now. But it's like you have escaped something, because there is recovery and there's leaving in a situation that, at least in your mind, was abusive. Now we have as the crowning energy the King of Swords in the reverse, and the King of Swords in reverse, a very manipulative energy, right? Because swords are truth and communication, and in the reverse, it's like the opposite of healthy communication, which would be manipulation, gaslighting, deflecting. It's like a con man, bribery kind of vibe, right? So it's almost like this high level of manipulation, or even verbal abuse, you know, anything like that. So that's crowning. So that could certainly have been the devil that you got away from. However, from an energetic perspective, they're still with you. And we have as the foundation, we have the Strength reverse. Strength reverse is indicative of an abuse of power, of fear. There being discord, there being like this self-sabotaging behavior, which is interesting because you have the solar eclipse happening in that 12th house, the self-undoing. So you want to make sure that whatever you're doing in relationship is actually really good for you. So let's see, Capricorn. All right, I feel like this is a very, very specific message, guys, because your personal psychology right now is the Hermit, and the Hermit is about loneliness, it's isolation, but it's also about repeating past mistakes and feeling very stuck in something. Now, this is you. This would not be connected to anyone else. So, you know, while you may not be, I feel this revisiting to something, or this being in something that, because the devil reverse is blocking you, and the devil reverse is recovering and leaving an abusive situation. And this seems like it's challenging for you with the High Priestess blocking your intuition. It's like you just can't see something fully for what it is. You know, the way you see them is the Seven of Cups in reverse, which is about clarity and the illusion ending and having a restored sense of something within the relationship. So it seems like you're you're thinking that perhaps the person that you were dealing with had an epiphany, a come to Jesus moment. Maybe they're telling you that. Maybe they're saying to you, I want things to be different. We could do things differently this time. This is very interesting. We have in your fear position, the King of Pentacles, which is a great energy, right? King of Pentacles is very solid and practical and wise. This is a wise investor. There's a lot of wisdom here. Now, it doesn't only have to be about money. It could be about connection, right? So, but this is your fear. So I almost feel like, not almost, I do feel like your real intuition is telling you to focus on something that's solid, that's practical, that's wise. When it comes to, it can mean money, depending on your situation, or it can mean just mental, physical, emotional connection. But you're afraid of looking at that. It does seem like, please don't come after me in the comments because I'm just reading what the cards are telling me. Because that's in your fear position. It's like you're afraid of looking at that, because then that would mean perhaps that this King of Swords in reverse and this devil energy that's blocking, even though it's reverse, because you're being blocked by reversing it. You're afraid to look at it because then it would mean that something was maybe not meant for you. We have in the near future the Queen of Wands in reverse. This is somebody who's angry, who's cold, who's aggressive, who's apathetic, who's just, this can certainly be you, where you get to a point where you're just kind of like shut down to the situation for whatever reason. It does seem like that. It seems like somebody, like you're in this hermit energy and you're in this isolated mode. You're trying to focus on you because that's what the hermit energy does. It's Virgo energy. But then somebody is saying to you that, or you're feeling that somebody is realizing things and having clarity and this restored sense, but you're questioning it. And you're very sort of like, yeah, I'm not sure if I believe you or not, even though on an energetic level you very much want to believe them. And then we have the Ten of Cups, though, as the final outcome card. So from your perspective, right, this is about contentment, total love and support, being with the person that you're supposed to be with, right? So in your mind, that's how you see things ending up. You go from being cold and apathetic to that. So I feel like I need to pull more cards on that. Yeah, because that's a big jump from the Queen of Wands reverse in the near future to the final outcome of being Ten of Cups. So we have the Hangman reverse, okay, the World reverse, Five of Swords, okay, Nine of Wands, okay. So the Hangman reverse is feeling like the victim of something. And recognize, calling that out, feeling like the victim of, feeling like somebody betrayed you, right? Recognizing that somebody is rather selfish. And then we have this working with the World energy in reverse. This is about an unfinished lesson. So this is like an unfinished kind of symphony thing here, going on here, that you're feeling. You feel like there's more left in this relationship. Even if you guys are together, maybe you're in a bad space, or maybe you're in this space where, you could be together for many, many years, but you're in this weird space, it seems like. I don't want to say weird because that's that's subjective in general. There are issues here. So maybe there's this lack of connection in the way that maybe you would like. We have this working with the Five of Swords energy. Five of Swords is a bullying energy. It's a violent kind of like abusive energy in relationships. It doesn't mean anybody's beating anybody, though. Maybe that's the story, but it's like these violent outbursts, this manipulation. There is definitely a lot of mental gymnastics going on here. But then we have this working with the Nine of Wands in the reverse. The Nine of Wands in the reverse is isolation ending and trying to have faith in something. Somebody defending themselves. There was this idea of, let's try this again kind of thing. So that explains how the Ten of Cups came to be. So it's not without. I don't see you blindly saying, oh, okay, let's just forget everything. I mean, it looks like somebody's being rather assertive with what it is, trying to kind of get back into things. But let's see what's really going on with them. We have coming into this energy, the Hierophant reverse. So this can absolutely be, you know, having an issue with commitment, you know, having an issue with expectations, whatever the expectations are that were put on them in the relationship, them having a challenge meeting that. This could also indicate not honoring the sacred in a relationship or marriage. So Hierophant is one of the marriage cards, right? So this coming into this energy. So I mean, you have the sun coming into this energy, right? So feeling good about something that's going on, but they have the Hierophant reverse. Now, right now in the current situation, we have the Temperance in the upright, which is a great energy, but it's being crossed by the Devil reverse, the Death card reverse, okay? So Temperance is all about balance, right? What do you need? What do they need? What does the situation need? It's all about balance, harmony, patience, self-control, moderation. But that's being challenged by the Death card in the reverse, which is about stagnation and inertia, and feeling that there's this sense of hope that's destroyed in this situation. And it really does give this feeling of being stuck. So it's like, while they really want to have this balance, they feel very stuck in something, right? Because there's this definite like stagnation, inertia. They feel stuck in the relationship, or they feel stuck. So it's almost like an energy where they're trying to work something out, but they feel stuck. The crowning energy, we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse, which is about fully learning from the past, though. Someone returning home, Capricorn. So maybe if you were living with somebody and they came home, if they moved out, they coming home, or you're going home, or you guys didn't need to live together at all. It could just be from a metaphorical perspective. Learning from the past and coming back. Look at the foundation is the Devil reverse. Isn't that interesting? We get the same thing. Recovering, leaving an abusive situation, good times ahead. So this is good. I mean, this is actually really good. This is about them recognizing perhaps something that they did. And I do feel like it is something that they did. Not to say that no Capricorn out there did anything. That would be ridiculous for those cross watchers. So it could certainly, but I'm just telling you what I'm getting now. The energies could always be vice versa. But that is what the Devil energy means. So it's like returning home and sort of these shackles being taken off from this negative, whatever it was that this person was involved in. So their personal psychology right now is the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is a necessary transition, moving away from something that's toxic. This could indicate leaving something, relocating, moving. But it is moving away from the toxicity, which is very interesting, because the way they see you is the Lover's reverse, and the Lover's reverse is a breakup. This is a divorce, arguments, discord, regrets, bad choices, you know. This is what they, you know, how they see you. So it's like you see them as somebody who's coming forth saying that they have clarity and this restored, you know, having this restored sense, but they see you as breakup and divorce, discord. Their fear is the Two of Swords in the reverse, which is about confusion and indecision. They're very confused. This is like the information overload card. They cannot figure out what it is that they should be doing. And this is freaking them out a little bit. They're afraid of it. In the near future, we have the Three of Swords energy. The Three of Swords is about heartbreak, divorce, loss, depression, maybe just feeling really depressed. It's the card of pain, right? So no matter how you want to slice that up, right? Because it's Saturn in Libra. There are many, many ways we can hurt each other. Many ways we can betray each other. And this is the energy that they're seeing for the near future of this relationship. So you're seeing the Queen of Wands reverse in the near future, right? Which is, you know, very angry, cold, apathetic, with aggression. This is what you're vibing the near future of the relationship as. And they're seeing this card of pain. So now, while you have the Ten of Cups in your final outcome, they have the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, which is about greed. And they're just being really stressed out about money. So I don't know if it's this kind of situation where, if, for example, let's say if you guys are married, them realizing they don't want to maybe end the situation because of money. I don't feel like it's because they don't care about you. It's just something has reached a certain point within this connection. This is very specific, so I'm sorry if it doesn't resonate with you this time. Maybe we'll get you next time, Capricorn. But this is someone's message for sure. Let's pull a Wisdom of the Oracle first for you. Time to go. And for them, regeneration. Regeneration is, well, time to go. Let's talk about that for a second. It's time to go. You can't hold on to something that was not ultimately meant for you, you know? If it was meant for you, you need to release. It'll come back when it's ready, kind of thing, you know, that old saying. But it's definitely time for you to go. Something has reached its expiration date. There's something inauthentic about if this person is trying to get back into your energy. And their advice is regeneration. Regeneration, it's, I mean, we have the death card there, you know, in reverse. It's very much about that. That's about allowing something to end so that, you know, this transition can happen in their life. Now, whether it's a regeneration within your relationship, it's not going to happen right now. They need to do some work on themselves, or you each need to do work on your own individual selves. We have girl with the snake. Will you look at this snake energy? Girl with the snake, mirror the snake. The butterfly. Karmic relationship. Wow. Empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used to enable boundaries. This is exactly what I was feeling here. It's empath and narcissist paradigm. There's this idea, something goes on within this relationship where you mirror each other's, you mirror each other. That's very interesting to me, because the 7th house in astrology, having to do with partnerships, is the house of mirror. It mirrors the 1st house. So those of you who know your charts, your rising sign, using whole house astrology in Western, your rising sign is in your 1st house. Look at what's in your 7th house. That's your mirror energy. That's the sign that your soul feels like it needs to be with. Doesn't mean they have to be that sun sign. It just means that they have to have that in an important placement, sun, moon, rising, or Venus. But relationship reflects your wounds. Interesting. The snake, competition, enemy, clever, malicious, looking over your shoulder, the other woman or the other man, you know, however it goes. Then we have the butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child's growth. Now, I want to, say this. The butterfly does not, when we say the relationship evolving to the next phase may be not together, if that is the right thing for you. This was a karmic relationship, fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you anyway, right? I mean, always with the karmic relationship, we should always, love them anyway, no matter what a hot mess the lessons were, because there were still lessons, right? So let's just pull some wild unknown as clarifiers for each of these. So the girl with the snake, narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enable boundaries. Okay, so we have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Let's see what we have working here. All right, so 9 of Pentacles in reverse. There's financial setbacks here. Girl with the snake, the empath and narcissist paradigm. This could indicate financial setbacks, jealousy, envy. Somebody who's just very, very focused on work. Focused, right, if it has to do with money, or just focused on self. Because the 9 of Pentacles is very much a self energy, right? It really is. It's about solo pleasures, things that somebody likes to do. So that really does align with this narcissist energy. Pentacles don't always mean money. Often they mean mental, physical, or emotional connection. So it's like somebody focusing on what they want to do, how they want to do something, and just really not paying attention to what is necessary within the relationship. And then we have mirroring each other, relationship reflecting your wounds, introspection, mirroring each other's self-image, right? And we have this working with the 9 of Cups in the reverse. So this is about greed. This is about looking for quick results, right? Wanting something to just be over. We don't want to deal with this nonsense, right? This could also have to do with somebody in this connection being kind of lazy, Again, looking for those quick results, just wanting something, not wanting to deal fully with something. Like, it's messy, it's uncomfortable, I don't want to deal with it. And then we have the snake. The snake is competition, enemy, clever, again, malicious. And we have this working with the Emperor energy. Wow, this is very interesting, because this is an Aries energy, which is about a fresh path, a new perspective. This is like a new energy. Somebody who is very much, it's very much a leadership energy, strategic planning though. There's an energy of strategizing here. So when we have this with the snake, with competition, that makes me really uncomfortable. You may have been dealing with a narcissist here, Capricorn. It's like there's a lot of strategizing, a lot of like saying things for purpose, right? Yeah, this is very clear to me. And then we have the butterfly with the relationship evolving. We have this with working with the Six of Wands in the reverse, which is about retreating after failure and giving up, and there being this lack of confidence. So there's this, to me, the way I'm understanding this is the relationship evolving into the next phase, healing the inner child and stepping away from all of this, retreating. Just giving up after having tried so hard and maybe not feeling so strong in the confidence realm right now. We have working with the karmic relationship, we have the Daughter of Swords, which is equivalent to the Page of Swords in reverse. And this is like bad news coming in. This could be some sort of legal issue going on here. So it could certainly have to do with like a divorce kind of thing or any other kind of, this is going to speak to only a handful of you. Some kind of legal issue that's impacting the relationship, but definitely bad news coming in. Okay, that's, the Page of Swords, because swords are truth, information, communication, okay? This could also indicate somebody being very, very immature in how they communicate with you regarding the situation. So if they're not if they don't feel like you're hearing them the way they want to be heard, they become very aggressive with you. Okay, so that is what I'm getting for that. Okay, my friends, I hope that was helpful in some way. Remember, it's only for the week. I'm so sorry for those Capricorns who are going through this. This does not feel very easy. I'm so sorry. Okay, so now we're going to go into career. Okay, and because I'm time stamping with career, let me just clean these cards up and then we'll speak. It's not only career, it's money, okay? It's not everybody's working, so that would be not only silly, but unfair to just continue to do that in the state of affairs that the world is in right now. Okay, so we're going to go on to career/money, because you may have some sort of financial situation going on in your life that has nothing to do with your career. Maybe you've got a lawsuit going on, there's some sort of divorce, inheritance, insurance payout, selling of a home. Maybe you're waiting to find out if you're going to be getting a mortgage or waiting for that loan for your business. Anything to do with money, your partner's money, anything like that. And of course, also your own career. Okay, so we're going to start by pulling 5 Lenormand, and then I'm going to be pulling tarot to qualify. Okay. It's funny, no matter how much I mix up, I shuffle the cards 6 times per deck before I turn the camera on, and then I do another couple. I'm getting the labyrinth, the owls, and the microscope, not together, but, and the mice even quite a lot in these. So labyrinth energy is all about trying different strategies to something. So whatever this financial situation is, trying different approaches, trying different strategies to something. Now the owls have to do with, it's very spiritual energy, the owls. It has to do with wisdom that comes from, what's interesting about the owl energy is this is wisdom that you possess, but you're getting validated either by somebody who's passed over, by spirit, or by somebody who you consider a very respectful and valid source in your life. But it's the kind of wisdom that's so profound and you cannot ignore it. This isn't a flippant, I think you should do this. No, this is like deep. Something needs to be looked at more closely, the magnifying glass, and then we go, what do you need to look at? This idea of mice is a whittling away of something. So some of you may be needing to look at if somebody is stealing money from you. That could be the mice energy. Trying to steal money from you, trying to manipulate some sort of financial situation. That could certainly be it. But it could also just be something viscerally bothering you about the situation, having to do with work or having to do with maybe this lawsuit, whatever is going on in your life having to do with money. And then we have the the mountains, which I'm not worried, like this is just an obstacle that you need to get over, but you will get over it. That's the thing with that. So let's see what's going on underneath those energies so that we have a better understanding of what's happening here, specifically for Capricorn. So we have the Two of Cups, okay. Page of Cups. All right. So Page of Cups, when it comes to career or anything like that, it really does mean, it means a number of things, but the main thing is like maybe you had to have this important conversation about how something was going to roll out, where you're trying to have a meeting of the minds where you don't have a meeting of the minds. If this has to do with career, for example, having a meeting with your boss about your hours, your pay, things that are troubling you at work, and it going well, meeting with your lawyer or meeting with some sort of estate manager, or anything having to do with maybe your divorce settlement, alimony, child support, anything like that. And the meeting, your initial meeting going well. So you're trying all of these different things. So maybe you're reaching out to different people. If it doesn't have to do with your work, where you have to have a conversation with either your boss, your employers, or your employees about something that needs addressing. This could be you meeting with different lawyers, and it initially going well, at least in your mind. But then we have under that, we have the High Priestess, right, which we got in your relationship read. In the reverse is about clouded insight and blocked intuition. So you may be having a hard time reading a situation, and I feel like that has like everything to do with the Neptune, especially right now, especially because the solar eclipse is happening in for those Capricorn rising anyway, to a lesser degree, but still so, to Sun, Moon, rising. That energy is happening in your 12th house. Okay, and then we have this working with the Page of Cups in reverse. Page of Cups in reverse is about separation of something. There being this idea of immaturity, this idea of dependence. So, for example, this would be indicated for like a divorce settlement, or somebody not playing fair in some sort of any sort of settlement, any sort of legal situation. Somebody's being immature, and there's this breakaway, this separation, right? But there's this dependence on the outcome. So you may be dependent on the outcome, or you may be dealing with an energy that's dependent on an outcome. Now, if this has to do with work, the Page of Cups in reverse does indicate like a level of immaturity in how something is being approached. And even though you're dependent on the situation, it seems like you're looking to perhaps break away from something that you don't really feel is very much serving you. Yeah, you may be dealing with an immature energy, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean that you're the immature energy. Now with the Owls, we have the Knight of Wands, okay. Two of Wands, good. All right. The Knight of Wands in the upright is very lusty, very free-spirited, very motivated, very creative energy. Very creative. Right. The fire sign. This is a really nice, like, come on, let's go sort of thing. It's Scorpio and Sagittarius. Sagittarius is about moving forward with integrity. It's ruled by Jupiter, so it's about luck and expansion. But there's change here, right? Because we have it working with the Scorpio energy, and Scorpio, the modern ruler, is Pluto. It's about transformation. So changing something, making some changes so that you can grow yourself. And then we have the Two of Wands energy, which is a Mars and Aries energy. I like this because this is about, you need to make a choice here, right? You are waiting for the results on something. So you might be waiting to find out about that job, that loan, that partnership, maybe waiting for something in the mail, waiting to sign something. But there's this element of transformation because of this, and you being able to move forward with luck and expansion is what I'm seeing, and integrity. But you're waiting on something. And now this is working with the Hermit reverse. This is a Virgo energy, and in the reverse, this is about, you might feel kind of alone, having to do with money right now. So you might be very alone in your career, feel very alone, even if you're in a room full of people, feel very alone and isolated, having to do with whatever, like lawsuit. And that people can feel like that often, right? You feel very alone, you feel unsupported, sort of thing. But there is this idea also of repeating past mistakes and feeling very stuck in the moment. But because this is very, I'm going to pull another card because, okay, this is good. Because I feel like what I'm getting is the message coming in here is to stay the course is what I'm feeling. But then we have this Hermit energy, which is about repeating past mistakes. But then we have the Fool, so I want to pull another one. This is all about a shocking surprise coming in. The Fool, because it's a Uranus energy, and it's all about the future, right? The Fool's about fresh hope, taking a chance, a new path, new adventure, new beginning. So it doesn't mean that you're changing. It would be ridiculous to say every Capricorn across the globe is changing careers. That's silly. But you're at least going to be changing your approach, your perspective. If it has nothing to do with your actual career, changing your approach to some sort of legal situation that's going on. And once you change your approach, that's going to allow you to move forward in something. But you need to look at something more closely that's troubling you here. So let's see what we have here. The Four of Swords. Yeah, okay, that makes sense to me. The Four of Swords in reverse is about this restless anxiety that you're feeling. You feel burnt out from a situation. You just feel ready to act. Okay? Now, the thing is here, be careful. Because you don't want to just say, oh, you know what, the hell with it. I'm not even going to deal with that anymore. I'm not going to deal with that lawsuit. I'm not going to deal with fighting over the alimony, the child support, the fill in the blank, the inheritance. The hell with it, right? That's because that's what happens with the Four of Swords energy. You know, in the reverse, Four of Swords upright's a little more chill about it. It's like pressing the pause button and saying, okay, let me think about what I need to do. Now here the restlessness is setting in, it's setting in, it's setting in. We have this working with the Page of Wands in reverse. So there's like, I feel like you are dealing with an immature person, but at the same time, it's like you're losing your patience. You really are. You're losing your patience here. So we have this working with the Knight of Coins, and this is just about very, very reliable person, very patient, very hardworking, but it's like you're not dealing, I was going to say, you're not dealing with a kindred spirit. You're not dealing with somebody who has the same approach to this situation as you. And it's very, very challenging. But now you have to ask yourself, are they posturing some sort of chaos to deflect away from what needs to be addressed in this situation, where they're being understood as being mature, pushing you to this point where you get to that point where you're just like, oh, the hell with it? Because they may have something else in mind here with this Mouse energy. We have the Ace of Cups, because this is something that you need to look at more closely. We have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is about something being proposed to you. Okay, so there's some sort of new proposal coming in. You have to look at that very carefully, because it may not be in your financial interest, or it may end up presenting something to you in the long term that ends up really, really bothering you. It may end up not being 100% of what is being presented now. Now, I don't know when this is going on, because it would be silly to say that it's all happening this week, but it does seem like the seed of something is being planted in this energy. Definitely read the fine print. Read the fine print. Don't take anybody at their word. Take everything with a grain of salt. And if you could wait to make a decision after eclipse season, it's something I always recommend. So with this proposal comes this Two of Swords, which is about needing to make a decision. It's time to compromise. So somebody is proposing something, but again, listen to your intuition here. Even though you might be in a space of being blocked, talk to somebody that you trust, right? Get that wisdom here that you need if you're not able to see something very clearly, because we do have this working with the Knight of Cups in reverse, and this is about unrealistic expectations and dealing with somebody who, for lack of a better term, is a bit of a jerk. I hate to say it, I don't like to name call, but like they're very moody, and they're very this one minute, and then they're that the other minute. They don't have a control on their emotions. Everything is sort of swerving. But this is really, something is not in your best interest that you have to look at very carefully. There's got to be this compromise. There's got to be this decision. So it looks like something is being presented to you that you're going to need to think about. Now, there's going to be obstacles here that you're going to have to deal with. Okay, so we have the Three of Wands in reverse. The Three of Wands it's got the Sun energy to it, right? It's a Sun in Aries, so it's about in the upright, right? It's the sun in Aries. You have everything you need to move forward. Well, in the reverse, delays, lack of planning, setbacks, not having enough foresight to see something. So you want to be very, because this is telling you to pay extra attention to something. Because if you don't, this lack of foresight, this lack of planning is really going to create significant delay. And then we have the world reverse. This is about unfinished business, right? This is delays. And it's still very positive, the world. It's such positive energy, right? It's your ruler energy, it's Saturn energy. Even in the reverse, it just means like something needs to be addressed in order to complete this goal, in order to complete this lesson, whatever it is. Right? Something needs to be handled in a certain way. And then we have this working with the Ten of Swords, which is about a complete and painful ending, hitting the rock bottom of something. So whatever challenges are being presented, they're actually kind of a gift, because the challenges are creating a delay, right? It's creating something that's left unfinished, but it's going to bring something to an ending. So let's see what's happening here with this. Some sort of situation happening in work, somebody not being very fair with you, you trying to be patient, them wanting to offer you something, you thinking about it, trying to make this decision, but realizing that at the end of the day, right, what's being presented is, oh wow, look at this. We have the Judgment and Emperor, two very strong major arcanas. I like this a lot, because Judgment, and this is very clear to me, Judgment is having clarity, a final decision, and having this wake-up call to what's necessary to make this work. Either it's your life purpose, wake up to your life. Now I know what I need to be doing. I need to be my own boss, right? I mean, because the Emperor energy is about leadership, strategic planning, being large and in charge of something. It is that Aries energy, that Ram energy. It's about being able to plan, being able to conceptualize something. This is an ideas person. And doing it with confidence. So it's like this final decision and then taking the bull by the horns. So I feel like something that's been going on, you're putting a stop to it, the way it's been happening, and you're going to take the bull by the horns and you're going to complete something on your own terms. Whether it's that lawsuit, whether it's any sort of family situation, anything having to do with finance or even within work. You saying, you know what, no. You taking control of a situation to see it through so that you can end up being more successful. Now, I do see a lot of you, I mean, this is a very strong energy about starting your own business for sure, right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Yeah, something wasn't bringing you the money that you wanted, right? Somebody had no follow-through. Somebody was a lot of talk, no action, no follow-through. No follow-through. So you're realizing, right, that the truth of the situation is that you want to make changes. You know, the Magician is focused creativity, turning visions into reality, having a lot of inspired action. And I really like this too, because Magician is Mercury, which is the 3rd and 6th house. It's Gemini and Virgo. And it's about communication in a way, learning something in a way that's going to incite change in your day-to-day work environment, because 6th house is your day-to-day work environment. So really good. Okay, my friends, that is, it looks like you're going to be going through something, but the ending looks good. Okay, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful in some way. You guys take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.